Hello, my name's Dave, and I post things that I'm interested in that I have seen in the last 50 years or so, affecting America, affecting the world we're involved with. I'm a veteran. I've traveled and served my entire life as a military brat in the military and working in different agencies and throughout the United States and overseas. And so I have a few things to comment on, and I think I'm going to reflect on that in personal context. This, when I went into the military, I swore an oath to defend America from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Every veteran has sworn that. Every military member has sworn this oath. I'm making an assumption here that I would assume that all state employees have sworn an oath similar to this. Our representatives have sworn an oath to this. Anyone in an executive office in government has sworn this. Defending our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What does that mean? Yeah, in time of war, we know what that means. The average citizen knows what that means. And they also espouse profuse appreciation and love of America and what that means. But I think today's society is losing touch with a lot of what that means. And so I'm going to try to present some information here that a lot of us already know, and some of us out there don't know. They don't know the extent of some of the things they're hearing about on TV. What is Homeland Security? What is national security? What does the National Security Agency do for America? How is that impacted on our daily lives? How intrusive is the government in our daily affairs and events? To what extent can state government impact Americans and federal government impact Americans? What is covered by the umbrella of Department of Homeland Security? What support agencies and businesses, medical or health and services fall under the umbrella of Homeland Security? Many do. And when we allow corporations and businesses to take control of those infrastructures within our country just to make money off of them, and only the executives make the money off of them, the civilians end up losing out because the executives decide to sell a hospital, and now 1 million people are without medical care for many miles. I think our infrastructure is falling to a domestic terrorist, and they're those that buy up these facilities and these support services and turn around and sell them for a profit so they can have $70 million in their bank account. Or they can buy up 70 million acres in the United States and sell them to foreign governments. That's right. 70 million acres in the United States in one form or fashion are now owned by foreign governments. Foreigners taking over our breadbasket. This is the illustration of how much land, American land, is actually owned by foreign nations or foreigners with foreign interests. I think we need to take a serious look at that. Talking about these issues, I'm going to show you two reports. One is recently done by CBS, one of their overnight programs, talking about how certain businesses have bought up hospitals all across the United States and turn around and selling them and getting rid of those medical supports all across the United States. So that now more Americans are suffering and have to go farther to get medical services and treatment. We don't have the infrastructure to be selling hospitals. We need to build these hospitals and improve these hospitals for America, for the citizens. And the more citizens that come into the United States, the more immigration that we have, the more people need to be treated, inoculated, the more Americans and the population that grows in America that continues to grow. We need those infrastructures. And for somebody to turn around and sell them out from under us That's a national security threat. If big business is tearing apart the United States economically, financially, that is an existential threat to every one of us. We need to take a serious look at this. And here's a couple of videos for you to consider. Thank you.
Security refers to the security of a nation state, including its citizens, economy, and institutions, and is regarded as a duty of government. Originally conceived as protection against military attack, national security is now widely understood to include non-military dimensions, including economic security, energy security, environmental security, food security, cybersecurity, etc. Similarly, national security risks include, in addition to the actions of other nation-states, action by violent non-state actors, narcotic cartels, and multinational corporations, and also the effects of natural disasters. Governments rely on a range of measures, including political, economic, and military power, as well as diplomacy to enforce national security. They may also add to build the conditions of security regionally and internationally by reducing transnational causes of insecurity, such as climate change, economic inequality, political exclusion, and nuclear proliferation.
Our 8-month investigation into the collapse of hospitals serving some of the nation's most vulnerable communities. CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook found investors are making millions while some patients are left without a place to go for their basic health care needs.
When Texas Vista Medical Center shuts down on Monday, it will leave the majority Hispanic south side of San Antonio with only one full-service hospital, 110 beds, for nearly 500,000 people.
My people, my residents, are 1 minute away from losing hope.
In 2017, the land and buildings of Texas Vista were sold to a company called Medical Properties Trust, which has bought up the real estate of nearly 200 U.S. hospitals, often in low-income areas. Medical Properties Trust says these deals give hospitals cash to pay for improvements. But after its real estate was sold, Texas Vista suddenly had an annual rent of $5 million. This while it provides free care for 25% of its patients. So you were not aware of the fact that the hospital was paying rent to Medical Properties Trust?
No, it's just infuriating, right? That money can be shifted to serve those that really need it.
But a CBS News investigation found a pattern of supply shortages at 14 hospitals being charged rent by Medical Properties Trust. That includes Texas Vista, which by earlier this year had missed more than $650,000 in payments to at least a dozen different vendors. For example,
we provide patients with a non-invasive ventilation device.
A breathing mask,
Right, and if I don't have the hose to connect from the machine to the mask, I can't do anything for them.
2 years ago, Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Nerona was able to block a hospital real estate sale.
So as a regulator, I could stop it here.
He told us last fall authorities around the country need more tools like the one he has that allow him to scrutinize these kinds of deals.
Laws on the books like that allow us to intervene.
Without those laws, he told us, it can be hard to follow the money.
Hello, I'm Ed Aldag with Medical Properties Trust.
According to SEC filings for Medical Properties Trust, from 2017 to 2021, CEO Edward Aldag's salary, bonuses, and stock awards amounted to a total of about $70 million.
It felt like it became less about people and more about profits.
Edward Aldag declined an interview. In a statement, Medical Properties Trust said it has no involvement in operational decisions at the facilities it owns, but it did not answer detailed questions, including whether it discussed providing financial assistance to Texas Vista. Nora?
Dr. LaPook.